Imagine, just for a second, the chemical we all famously associate with happiness, serotonin, right? You're probably picturing it lighting up somewhere inside your brain. Well, look at this staggering statistic. 90 to 95% of the serotonin in your body isn't produced in your head at all. It's produced right there in your gut. It's this shocking piece of biology that completely flips how we think about our minds and our bodies, and it really sets the stage for what we call our second brain. Welcome to this explainer. Our goal today is simple, but it is absolutely crucial. We are demystifying gut health. We're going to cut through all the noise, the fleeting trends, and the influencer hype, and rely entirely on the hard science and clinical insights of top gastroenterologist Dr. Beatrice Gross. We're going to figure out exactly what your digestive system actually needs, what it definitely doesn't, and how to spot the difference between a simple stomachache and a true medical red flag. Okay, let's dive into this. Section 1. The gut-brain connection, or as it's often called, our second brain. To truly understand gut health, we have to explore why our digestive system is so intrinsically linked to our minds. Like, why do we get butterflies when we're nervous? Why do we lose our appetite when we're super stressed? Well, it all comes down to sheer scale. We usually think of this central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord, as the absolute only command center in the body. But your gut contains an enteric nervous system with between 200 and 500 million autonomous neurons. That is literally more neurons than you have in your entire spinal cord. And it operates completely on autopilot. You don't have to consciously think about digesting your lunch. This massive neural network handles the motility, the hormone secretion, and the blood flow completely on its own, all while constantly pinging messages back to your brain. So, the crucial point is this. Remember that 90 to 95% of serotonin produced in the gut we talked about just a minute ago? Well, a lot of internet gurus claim that fixing your gut will instantly cure depression because of that serotonin, but the science actually says otherwise. The serotonin made in your digestive tract cannot physically cross the blood-brain barrier. It's not taking a little elevator up to your brain to make you happy. Instead, it stays local. It primarily regulates your gut's muscle movements and blood flow. It's a perfect example of why we need to look at the actual biology rather than simplified internet claims. However, the connection is absolutely bidirectional, especially when it comes to stress. When you experience acute stress or anxiety, your body reverts to its ancient fight or flight mode. Your brain literally diverts blood flow away from your digestive organs and pumps it right into your muscles so you can run from danger. And the result? Digestion slows way down, enzyme secretion changes, and gut motility radically alters. That explains why stress gives you that famous knotted stomach feeling, or conversely, why anxiety can send you running straight to the bathroom. Moving on to Section 2, normal versus warning signs, the real alarm signals. With all these millions of neurons firing, occasional discomfort is totally normal. But how do you know when it's just a bit of gas and when it's something genuinely dangerous? Dr. Gross is very clear about this. While most abdominal pain is just functional sensitivity, certain symptoms are absolute medical red flags. Blood in the stool, unexplained weight loss, and a fixed, dull pain that actually gets worse after eating are all major warnings. And pay close attention to nighttime diarrhea. If you are literally waking up from sleep to use the bathroom, that is a strong indicator of an organic disease, not just a passing bug. Additionally, any sudden, unexplained changes in your bathroom rhythm after the age of 50 absolutely warrant an immediate trip to the doctor. All right, Section 3, debunking viral myths. False digestive myths. Okay, now for the really fun part. The internet is flooded with advice on how to fix your digestion. Let's put these viral claims directly to the scientific test. First up, the multi-million-dollar juice cleanse industry. We've all seen the ads. Do you really need to drink nothing but green juice for 3 days to detox your gut and clean out your colon? Is there any real biological truth to this? The blunt scientific truth: your organs, specifically the liver and the colon, are naturally designed to clean themselves. They really don't need a $12 juice to do it. In fact, Dr. Gross explains that when you juice fruits and vegetables, you strip away their incredibly valuable insoluble fiber matrix. What you're left with is basically a liquid that causes massive blood sugar spikes, all while depriving your gut microbiome of the exact fiber it needs to maintain its protective mucus lining. So eat the whole fruit instead. Next myth. Is gluten universally toxic? Like, do we all need to start avoiding bread and pasta to cure our bloating? The answer is a resounding no. Gluten avoidance is only medically justified for 3 very specific conditions: celiac disease, wheat allergies, and non-celiac gluten intolerance. For the general public, gluten is absolutely not the enemy. Now, you might be wondering, but I felt so much better when I stopped eating bread. While Dr. Gross notes that when people cut out gluten, they inadvertently cut out highly fermentable carbohydrates. It's actually the reduction in fermentation that makes you feel less bloated, not the absence of the gluten protein itself. Here's one that might hit close to home for a lot of us. Does your morning coffee habit irritate your stomach lining or damage your digestive tract? You can breathe a huge sigh of relief. Coffee is not an irritant. It does, however, increase your gut's motility, which is exactly why it helps you go to the bathroom. Interestingly, this isn't just because of the caffeine. Decaf coffee and even plain hot water do the exact same thing. Dr. Gross actually points out that 3 to 5 cups of coffee a day provide beneficial antioxidants and flavonoids for your system. It's perfectly safe as long as your own personal tolerance allows for it. Let's move to section 4 and see how this builds. The real dietary villains, the hidden danger. So, if gluten and coffee aren't the villains, what is? Let's confront the hidden dangers that have been completely normalized in our daily diets. Take embutidos, traditional processed cold cuts like jamón, lomo, and chorizo. In countries like Spain, it is entirely normal to eat these every single morning for breakfast. But the science is incredibly harsh here. The World Health Organization actually classifies processed meats as a Group 1 carcinogen. The whole process of salting and preserving these meats triggers cellular changes in the digestive tract that are simply undeniable. Because of these normalized dietary villains, these processed meats, combined with alcohol and chronic stress, colon cancer is now the most prevalent cancer in Spain, striking at increasingly younger ages. Dr. Gross emphasizes a pretty brutal truth. If your lifestyle is packed with ultra-processed foods, smoking, and alcohol, there is absolutely no expensive probiotic supplement on the market that can save or fix your gut. You literally cannot supplement your way out of a toxic diet. Let's lighten things up a bit with Section 5, the Gut Health Tier List, the food ranking. So what should we actually be eating? Let's bring all this pragmatic advice together. Based on her clinical experience, Dr. Gross developed a 0 to 10 scoring system for everyday foods, based purely on how they impact your gut health. And this brilliantly illustrates what we've been talking about. At the very top, with perfect 10s, we have whole plant foods. Legumes, which feed your microbiome's beneficial bacteria with crucial fiber, fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and extra virgin olive oil. At the absolute bottom, scoring hard zeros, are ultra-processed foods, deep-fried items, alcohol, and those processed cold cuts we just talked about. They offer zero benefit and actively harm your gut lining. Now, let's walk through the nuanced middle-tier foods. Whole grain cereals are fantastic, scoring an 8.5 to 9, because that intact fiber matrix is vital. Coffee scores really high too, but what's really fascinating here is the fermented foods. Kefir, yogurt, and kombucha sit right around a 7 or 8. They are undeniably good for you, but as Dr. Gross points out, they're slightly overmarketed. You definitely don't need to drink gallons of kombucha. In fact, too much of it can actually cause liver toxicity. And protein powders sit a bit lower, as it's always better to get your protein from whole food matrices rather than isolated powders. Let's simplify all this science into your next shopping trip. If you really want to cultivate a thriving microbiome, your grocery cart should be completely dominated by legumes like lentils and chickpeas, abundant fresh fruits and vegetables, a good variety of nuts and seeds, quality extra virgin olive oil, and whole grains. This is the exact prebiotic fuel your autonomous 500 million neuron second brain desperately needs to keep you healthy, regulated, and functioning optimally. So, we've debunked the detox juices, we've completely cleared coffee's name, and we've faced the hard facts about processed meats. You now have the structured knowledge of a top gastroenterologist. So, I'm going to leave you with this question to consider. Based on the actual science of your second brain, how are you going to rethink what goes into your very next supermarket cart?